kind of a nightmare. Their attitudes all go to hell in a hurry. It's the last 2 weeks of school. And
Yeah, it's crazy. Chef gave seniors that were coloners 4 years, you ought to see the knives.
Ooh, that's nice.
It's crazy. It's neat. Some, I don't
Is
know.
he going she gonna leave it home for you to get it kind of broken in?
Yeah. I hope so. I don't know. She may take
Oh, listen, from what I know about chefs and their knife sets, they sleep with them.
Yeah.
They roll them up and sleep
hide
with them, and you're not allowed. You have to leave the kitchen when they pull their knives
You do
out.
not touch it.
Judy,
You don't even look real
You
hard.
don't even look at it. You make the
she's
one-
got a knife she got last year, chef, for winning a thing when they're in Orlando. We don't get to use that knife. And if I'm out, if I take it out or something, I get yelled at.
Yeah. You do not touch those.
This is right. She'll be in Arizona soon, and she won't know which knife you're touching.
She'll probably take them.
To college, to a dormitory.
What's cool is that honors dorm, they have a gourmet kitchen at the end of the, or they can go and buy something they'll cook. Like that. Okay, which one was this? 5'9"? Was that Tammy put in? What's today? 12. So that must have been 5'9". When she put the agenda in. Yeah. These are on. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, sure, now you're going to show up.
Well, you cut out so quick today, I think you wanted to see me again for some reason.
An hour and a half of you was enough.
That was pretty nice, though.
I can't believe they bought a used truck.
I didn't see what they paid for it.
The used one, they're paying over $300,000, but the two top ones in their list that they put them out for bid were both over $750,000 for a rescue truck.
When they first were talking about it, for $150,000, that was kind of like that Kenworth we had, and they weren't interested at all in that. So they're going to spend $280,000 on a grass truck. So
Not. Russ usually agrees with me.
They don't fight grass fires, so why are they buying grass trucks? I'm just saying.
they looked at one of them. Have you seen them big fancy ones that they take to like fire school and stuff? All got balloon tires on it. They were looking at one of them, and it was
Imagine that.
$450,000. I told them, if you're going to do that, just buy one of them militaries like we got and do it for $100. You still get the balloon tires. You just can't go real fast.
Yeah, they're not high geared,
No,
but they'll go anywhere you want.
Yeah, some places you don't.
Yeah, you would just soon not be there, but yeah,
You just as soon leave in a hurry.
big militaries. Those two and a half deuces and those. Now you're using. I know you're using the fives now, but I seen him today.
He's out here.
He's coming in the door.
He's talking on the phone.
He's probably talking to his race car coach.
He is. He's got his trailer hooked up. I know he's got one of his race cars has got to be in that. I think he's going to head for Iowa to take it down there for a guy's got an engine swap out in it. I think.
He's going to get one that builds.
Yeah, he's been building one. Quit talking about them race cars. Come on.
What minding rules what we're going to do.
He never does. I've known him too long.
So what's new?
He does hobby stock in that dirt track.
You could do worse.
Hold on. Which buddy?
So I'm guessing one of those race cars is in that trailer.
No, none of them are.
Wrong.
The trailer's leaving first thing Wednesday morning at daylight to go get one.
I was going to say.
Yes,
To go get a race car? or
Yes.
motor?
race car
Yes.
with a motor on it. I ordered it in October.
Yeah.
Yeah, should be in there.
Kevin, to call this meeting to order, would you please rise and say the pledge with us?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll go ahead and open the public hearing for ordinance number 754, fiscal year 25-26 budget ordinance. Is there any comments?
I think we did a good job, Bruce.
Well, we're working on it.
We're trying.
We've done a good job about staying within budget and trying to not blow our reserves, so we've done a good job over the years, so I'm not
And we're very
complaining about
lucky to have enough money to be able to do
We are
what
lucky.
we want. We're very, very lucky.
Since nobody in the audience is jumping up, I'll go ahead and close this public hearing and call our council meeting to order. I don't believe there's any additions or deletions. Is
Are we
there?
going to put something in about, no, council meeting?
It's right in the middle of
Is it in
it.
there?
Resolution 25, I just spotted it,
Okay.
2025-6 is there. So,
It's there.
I don't see it on mine.
yeah, it's in new business about halfway down. I almost missed it. But
Yeah.
You got that one.
It was an updated one that got sent out.
yes,
Oh,
she updated,
okay,
yeah.
I didn't get that.
So is there a motion to approve the April 28th, 2025? Which one of you?
It reminds me to turn it off.
Council minute meeting and the May 5th work session.
I move we approve the April 28th council minutes and the May 5th work session as presented.
The motion is there a second?
I will.
It's moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Moving on to reports. Councilwoman Colleen.
Well, just real quickly, went to the Boys and Girls Club dinner. It was really nice. Since I was with Mike, I was invited to sit up with the keynote speaker,
Yeah.
and he's a really cool guy. It was nice to be able to sit there. It was Jim Morris. They did the movie The Rookie about him, and he had a lot of good stories. His wife was very nice. Food was good. We just generally had a good time. The only other thing I had was just a reminder of the Memorial Day ceremony, May 26th at 10 a.m. At the cemetery.
Yeah, I think they raised some pretty good money the other night also. So
Probably I didn't hear.
I don't know what their total was, but I think-
they were rolling right along.
they did good. Councilwoman Nunn.
Yes, sir. Two special fundraising events here in Glen Rock, the Veterans Park and the Boys and Girls Club, both of which were very successful, with our community standing solidly behind both of these special projects with donations to be sold or direct financial aid. Veterans Park had over $101,000 in donation, with money still being received as our community becomes more aware of this project, honoring and thanking veterans from Glen Rock. Their guest speaker, Joy Jones, a combat veteran who served 2 combat deployments in Iraq and Afghanistan, and who suffered an IED incident that resulted in the loss of both his legs and above knee and other injuries. May 25th, this is a very important date, please mark, or May 28th, please mark this. At 5 o'clock at the town hall, there will be a town hall meeting to help veterans and persons with a family member veteran understand the process for having a veteran's name included in this memorial. Next, the Boys and Girls fundraising.
What time is that?
It is at 5 o'clock,
Here?
May 28th at the town hall. And they'll try to explain how that works, and so people know how to apply to have their names put on those columns down there. And as Councilwoman Collins said, the Boys and Girls fundraiser had Jim Morris, who was a very special instrumental baseball player who overcame a very difficult family life as a child and who was given life-changing support from both grandparents and from a boys club in Texas. His life story has been made into an inspiring movie. Bob and I watched it. It's great. I would recommend it to anyone. We should be very proud to have such a special facility as our local Boys and Girls Club, which offers all kids a place to belong. Their staff are dedicated to inspire and enable young people to do the best they can be. This facility has offered a safe place for young children and for working families here in Glen Rock for the Friday no school day. Again, thanks are owed to all the generous people in our community that make this a special place for children and for working parents. We are fortunate to live in such a caring, generous community and have the financial ability to present a solid town budget, including allocation to help our local service groups meet their goals.
Councilman Kincaid.
I did it once, some of those I went to fundraisers, but have nothing else except school things right now. Staying busy.
Councilman Delgar.
I don't really have a lot, just a reminder that the kids, the Game and Fish Day is the 19th out at South Rack. That's always a good thing. If anybody wants to stop out there, you can get a free hot dog, I'm sure, from the fire department, so they're cooking for it. I participated and watched the mock car crash that I'm sure Chief Felton will talk about. It's quite the event at the high school. That's really all I have.
Okay.
May I ask you a quick question? Did that really impress those kids when they saw that?
I think it did.
I think it did too.
I'll let Chief
Affected my daughter.
talk more about that.
That's good. That's good.
Got talked a lot about today down at the FSA board meeting. Kelly? Treasurer?
Evening, Mayor and Council. I really don't have a lot, just keep working on the budget, and that's about it.
Okay.
Normal life for the moment.
John, Public Works.
All we've been doing is just our regular maintenance on everything, but we do have the fill station RV dump has started up out there by Lowenbro. We've started digging and laying in some pipe. We do have one new employee, a temporary employee, coming on tomorrow to help with parks in the mowing. I did get the blowers out the lagoon, squared away where they do rotate and come on when there's power bumps. That's all taken care of. That's about all I got.
Okay.
You got the flag put up at the Boys and Girls Club.
Yes, I did get that done too. We did that on our own. No,
And thank you for that, John.
Yeah.
thank you.
Lyle, Building Inspector.
Big broom went off last week. I think that went pretty well. I still got to go up and follow up with what's out there. And high school cleanup is going to be on the 22nd. They're going to have a limited crew because they got to try to meet the same day. So that's going to hurt us a little bit, but that's the way it goes. Attended that workshop in Riverton. Pretty good training. Pretty incredible. There was a bill out there, House Bill 202, for fast track permitting, and they talked about it. And if it would have passed, which they're going to try and pass it, they're still going to pass this thing. That's their goal. When an application come in, you got 15 days to say it's complete or incomplete permit. So say you're permitting a hotel, and say it's in the proper zoning. Once you say it's a complete permit in 15 days, then you got 60 days to approve or deny. And if you submit it, so that's got to go through planning and zoning. It's got to go through public comment, and you got 60 days to permit.
It's also got to go to the fire marshal's office, so I think they're wishing.
So if it goes to the fire marshal's office, you get a 10-day extension.
10 days, that's a joke.
It's ridiculous. So
I know what it takes to get something through the fire marshal's office.
luckily
That's 60 days if you're lucky.
so we'll have
The
to
question
watch
is,
that.
which 10 days?
Yeah.
And then
Which
the-
10 days of which month?
The second part that was really interesting was crypto mining. Learned about that, and so they're putting crypto mining units inside of city limits. And what they're doing is Gillette's got them, and there's 3 cities that have them right now. And so a substation it's excluded from zoning of, say it's in an R1 or wherever it's at. It's excluded from zoning, so they're putting this crypto station inside of substation. And at 150 yards, it's still screaming loud. The guy showed me a video. It's amazing. So a lot of negative, draws an incredible amount of power. One unit can draw more power than 3,000 homes. So it's crazy.
And what does it do?
Crypto mining, I looked it up because I'm like, what does
Yeah.
mining do?
Tell me.
Mine's Bitcoin. It's a whole
Yeah.
bunch of computers tied together to mine Bitcoin.
But it's,
Do a presentation.
yeah, it's crazy what it entails. But it's a bunch of people competing to solve this mathematical equation. And whoever competes at first gets a prize, and somehow it goes into the blockchain. I don't know how that works. But it's complicated, but
Oh, come on, I thought you'd explain
Sounds like a
it.
pyramid scheme
I
to me.
got it right here, but this is the actual explanation. It's big. But it's crazy, so we got to get ahead of that with regulation.
So Lyle, how can they exclude it from zoning? How's that work?
Because inside of a substation is apparently, I don't know if it would hold up here. But
I don't know how they can tell us and break our own home rule.
Yeah, and it goes through this. It talks about
They're putting them inside the same fencing perimeter as those to where they can get away with, you can't touch what's inside of that substation fence is what.
The good thing is we have no power substations
We don't in town,
but close to us we do.
and you really need to set up a buffer zone away from the town a little bit because it talks about zoning laws. People are torqued. The energy thing can be a problem because they run 24/7. So if you get enough of them, you could have a brownout in your own city.
even though we don't have any zoning, say in the county, there's a lot of these crypto mining things that are being put on gas well locations. They're using the natural gas coming straight out of the ground to run the generator to fire the power to mine crypto that nobody
Which
knows is happening.
might be a good solution if it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yep, exactly.
But it is kind of crazy.
So Lyle, do we need to change some zoning? Do we need to get some legal work going before they hit us on the
We
head?
gotta propose something to
Buffer zone
help
anyway.
ourselves. So we'll do that. But that was interesting. And then I'm going to that conference next week for my code class next week.
Okay. Coulter, Chief Police.
Evening, Mayor and Council. Still getting over a little bit of a cold, but I wanted to let everybody know that this week is National Police Officer Week, where police officers all over the country are recognized, obviously culminating with a big memorial service on numerous locations. The closest one for us will be down at the Academy in Douglas, if anybody's never
Is that on the
attended.
15th?
Yes, ma'am. If anybody's never attended, I'd recommend it. It's sort of a neat thing. But like many of you, attended all kinds of fundraisers the last couple of weeks. Haven't had many days of just sitting at home, which I kind of blame for this cold, I think. But we attended the Boys and Girls Club Adulting Day for this high school. That was an interesting kind of event. Got to talk with a lot of kids about law enforcement, a future in law enforcement. We had our mock crash, the first that I'm aware of ever happening in Glen Rock, on the 7th of May, which was a pretty cool event we were able to put together. We did work a little bit with Douglas's group that puts theirs on and got some ideas. It'd be great to work with them more going forward. I thought it was very impactful. There's a lot of tears in the crowd, for sure. If anybody's never heard Carrie Shadow's victim impact statement, it can really pull you a little bit, just understanding how that affects so many people. But I think the kids really responded well. I've had a few of them reach out to me since then and talk about how it was a good event, for sure. And we plan to just make it better going forward. Earlier today, John and his crew, thank you guys for helping us out. We held the Ninja Warrior Challenge, which we started last year with the Sheriff's Office over at the intermediate school. It was, again, quite a fun event. I think the kids had a good time. We had a good time. Almost died, so start feeling better before those things happen.
Does workers' comp cover that?
I don't think so, but it was mostly just, dude, I'm just so congested up. I just can't breathe, so it's easy to get real tired real quick. So, and then as Councilman Dalgarn mentioned, Game and Fish Day will be the 19th, which I know our local warden came in and spoke with you guys about that as well. But I wanted to reach out and extend an offer to you guys to come out, be a part of that if you're interested or have that time. It is a neat event, pending there's no rain, which it has been rained out in the past. So, but it is beautiful down there. John's crew's been doing a great job at South Rec, so I think everybody's probably seen it. But shout out to them. And then lastly, I guess I'll mention before I run out of breath, last week was the WASCOP conference. It was an interesting year this year. A couple of courses on mental health with first responders. The governor also came down and sat down and again was speaking at a roundtable with all the chiefs and sheriffs from the state regarding some of the stuff going on down there with lawmakers and different things, looking for ideas for putting a group together to continue to kind of try and help with drafting up some bills that he'd like to suggest to the Freedom Caucus as in lieu of a number of the ones they are continuing to try and push through. So anyway, that's my last couple weeks in a nutshell.
Okay. I'll move on to items from the floor. Is there any items from the floor this evening? What?
Was Jack here for anything?
We don't have a lot, I mean,
Get up to the podium. Stand up, buddy.
fire department, mayor, council, we're kind of like Coulter and them right now, doing a lot of stuff with the kids in the school, getting ready for end of the year. I think Wednesday we're cooking steaks for the senior class down at the fire hall, and then next Monday is the Game and Fish Day and their community service day. They'll come down and do the wash trucks and squirt each other with the garden hose, and then the big boys will bring the big toys out to the middle school when the kids are getting ready to get out of school and give them their last summer bath, so or first summer bath, I guess. But no, we just kind of waiting, getting things ready for the summertime. So, and to tack onto that car crash deal, a couple days before that happened, we had a crash involving a couple teenage kids out west of town that was pretty serious, and so it kind of was timed. If you can say the timing was good, the timing was probably really good because we had an immediate local impact as well that the kids were all talking about, still fresh in their minds, and it is a pretty powerful thing, and hopefully, God, hopefully it's something we never have to deal with here locally any worse than what we've already had. So that's all I got.
Okay. Any questions for Jeff? If not, we will move on to new business. First order of new business is for Tad Anderson for Night Force. It's their shooting challenge, and they hold their awards event and stuff down at the park at using the covered areas down there, and they applied for an open container permit. So is there a motion?
I move we approve the open container permit for Mr. Anderson.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved into seconded. Any discussion?
So we've done this in the past, correct?
Yeah.
We've not had any issues that we're aware of.
I think this will be their third year down in the park, doing it in the park this time. I think
Even more than that.
might be, but the number of people that get involved in that long range shooting, they have a nice program down there, and as far as I know, it's been quiet and put on a nice presentation and stuff. So,
Do we need to, historically, do we have to take any extra dumpsters or anything down there for them, or?
John question.
I don't know.
aware of any issues.
Has John been here for one of these yet? I don't think John's been here for one of these.
Not as the head honcho, but he certainly worked here for it.
it's worked here long enough for them. I don't know if we've done anything extra for it down there or not. I think last year they forgot and left a generator here that somebody saw us sitting there and walked off with it. They never found.
If they need something, I guess they need all those.
Yeah. for sure. There's no more discussion. I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. The next one is a 24-hour malt beverage catering permit for Deer Creek Days for 6/27 of 25 to 6/29 of 25. So Tammy Short applied for this for Deer Creek Days events. So is there a motion?
I moved that we pass the resolution 2025-5 open container for Deer Creek Days and what else? Open container and beverage. Catering.
Yeah, so it is part of resolution 2025-5. So
I'll second that.
been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Next one is resolution number 2025-6, a resolution canceling the May 26, 2025 council meeting, whereas the town of Glen Rock meets on the second and fourth Mondays of each month, whereas the second meeting in the month of May of 2025 falls on a scheduled holiday. Now therefore be resolved by the governing body of the town of Glen Rock, Wyoming, that notice is hereby given that the May 26, 2025 council meeting will be canceled. Treasurer is authorized to pay all normal and ordinary bills and claims. In the event of an ordinary bill or claim, the council may be called to meet briefly to approve. Passed, approved, and adopted this 12th day of May 2025. Is there a motion?
I'll move to pass resolution 2025-6.
Is a motion, is there a second?
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Next one is ordinance number 754, an ordinance appropriating money of the town of Glen Rock, Converse County, Wyoming, for the purpose of necessary to conduct municipal government for the fiscal year commencing July 1 of 2025 and ending June 30th of 2026. It is ordained by the governing body of the town of Glen Rock, Converse County, Wyoming, that Section 1, the anticipated budget of the town of Glen Rock, Wyoming, is shown in the copies of Exhibit A-1 and Exhibit A-2 attached to and made a part of this ordinance. Appropriations mentioned in the budget are hereby made for the fiscal year beginning July 1 of 2025. The town treasurer and the town council have this budget as their guide in expenditures in the town finances during that ensuing fiscal year. After deducting all cash and other estimated values, it's necessary for the following amount to be raised in general taxation. In order to raise such sums of money, it is necessary that levies be made for fiscal year 2025 and 26 as shown opposite such funds. General fund, 8 mils in a total assessed valuation. It shall be the duty of the clerk to mail copies of the statement to the clerk of Converse County, Wyoming for guidance. Passed and approved. First reading the 12th of May 2025. Is there a motion?
I move we pass ordinance 754 on the first reading this evening.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I just have a quick question. There's one line item that I have an issue with the entire project. Does agreeing to budget for it say that I am agreeing to the project?
No, we have two
Or-
more readings that can be at any time. Can be, we can probably have another work session, and anything can be added or removed from the budget before the final reading.
Okay, and that I understand. However, my question is, if it were passed as it is, does that equate to agreeing that the project should go forward?
Would be equating that we would put it out for for bid, and then discuss whether or not what the price comes in as, what it would be approved to go forward with or reject.
When might we?
It's like any and all budgeted projects for the town. We have a certain amount of money that's available or been projected by the engineering group, and we also, when we put those out to bid, we put it as we have the right to accept or reject any and all bids. So if it comes in and then once that's been done, it has to go through a resolution and approved by council before the project can move forward. So the council has plenty of time to decide whether or not they want a project to go forward.
When might we have a work session, Mr. Mayor? Before the next reading?
Yeah, we probably can. I think I'm just trying to remember what day is our.
With canceling the next meeting, we'll
Ninth
have
day
plenty
of
time
June.
to fit one in.
Yeah, we have plenty of time in there somewhere to fit one in before the next council meeting, before
June 9th.
the June 9th meeting. So we can fit in one or two work sessions, not a problem.
Let's try to have one before the June 9th, just to kind of review some.
Well,
of these
we
things.
normally do, but we could go over that stuff. So is there any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay.
Nay.
Motion carries.
Bruce, not to interrupt, but you skipped over Resolution 2025-5.
No.
No, we put them together.
He
Combined
doubled it up. He
Combined
doubled that
it?
up with
Yeah, we doubled it up.
the 24-hour catering permit,
Okay, thank you.
which I thought was weird, but we did.
We're trying to save time.
I thought it worked out. Right?
I think our next one is Town of Glen Rock's ordinance number 755, a Planning and Zoning Commission amendment, an ordinance to amend the Glen Rock Municipal Code to reduce the number of members on the Planning and Zoning Board Commission from 7 to 5. I hope all you've read through it, because I'm not going to read all of it, but if you have, is there a motion, and then we'll let Lyle discuss it.
I'll make a motion to approve 755 on first reading.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Now discussion. Fire away at Lyle. This is his deal.
We've had 3 meetings now that we didn't have quorum. And it felt like 5 is plenty. And that gives the quorum 3. So they voted on it. We were either looking at trying to pick up 2 or go to 5. They decided they voted for 5.
Do you have 5 now?
Yeah.
I think that sounds like a good idea, Lyle. It's hard to get 7 people committed to some of these things, and maybe people would be more willing to commit to working with you if they knew that they really wanted to work with you.
Yeah, I think you can get a good opinion with 5. So.
Yeah. When I was on it, many years we did never have 7 there.
Is there a reason it was set with 7? Does anybody know the history behind that? That's a weird number.
Been that way for a long, long time. Yeah, I don't know.
Because there was
And
more
it's been
people that
it's
liked
been
it all
hard
the
for
time.
probably the last 15 years to keep 7 people on that board.
So do we need to change any? We don't need to change anything else. I'll change this ordinance. Never mind. I'll be quiet now. Thank you.
This changes their ordinance, and
There was one thing that Tammy came up with. If you look on that, after the amendment on 245 or 20, I got it up here, but it's no more than, it's no member of the commission shall hold a seat on the town council and be on the planning board.
How come?
Thought it was a conflict of interest,
I thought it was a plus
and I,
in the
I
past.
did too.
so you guys, that's a good discussion. Maybe you don't want to do that.
I think it's a good idea to have a council member there.
If somebody's willing to sit on that board,
I was, when I was elected to council here, I was
Appointed to that
I've been on
board.
a planning and zoning board many years, and I know one gentleman up here even said, "You need to stay on that. It's good for the council." And I did.
I really don't have an opinion one way or the other, but I mean, that was,
Yeah, I don't understand that one, but
Whose change was it?
Tammy thought it was a conflict of interest.
Well, then that means I can't be on the landfill board.
Well, No, that was
Same
just-
time, was the same
it
type
was
of thing as
just-
a council member on a board.
It was just council and planning commission is what she was thinking of.
I think we should do all or nothing if we're doing this kind of thing, and I don't
Was
think
there a
it's
reason?
My problem is that, you get somebody that's willing to serve, that you might need that person on both boards. So I kind of,
I use it as a communication, kind of a,
so, would you like us to take that?
I would like you to delete that before we pass this. I don't think it's a very good idea, really.
Since this is an ordinance, it requires 3 readings, does it not?
It's an ordinance change, so it does take
It's an ordinance, so it takes 3 readings to get it
Remove
through.
it on the next reading.
So we can pass it tonight, knowing that we can adjust it between here and the next
Yeah,
one.
it takes 3 readings to change the ordinance.
So, yeah, I wanted to bring that up.
okay, thanks.
We need a motion to approve this.
We've already,
Was
I
either
did.
you or Roy and the other
Good.
one seconded?
so,
So I'd like to amend my motion to say that
okay,
that I would move to pass this ordinance 755 on first reading, knowing that we would possibly like to make changes before the second reading.
And I would second
motion's
that.
made, there's a section, new second for that. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. We've missed it, Margaret.
Doggone, Bruce, you're dragging your feet again, aren't you?
Our next order of business is bills and claims. Is there a motion?
I move we pay our bills and claims. We're running late.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on bills and claims this evening? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying in favor.
I flavor it. I flavor it.
Flavor it, yeah. Say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries.
Michael, did you have something since you came in late? Oh, okay.
If there's not anything else to come before this meeting this evening, I would have somebody entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn the meeting at, 3 minutes after 6?
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned. You guys will sign
Because it's 6:00.
Kelly's paper.
Oh, my gosh, 6:01.
Question. Okay, on this one, he has the location. That's where they're doing the shoot. Shouldn't it be?
I think
I can't find where.
Yeah, I think he messed up and wrote that because they're out at Tillard.
Yes, I know,
but
but
that,
it
but
should be.
yeah, and it's always been in
I
the
know,
park.
but
Yeah,
it's supposed to be.
it's in the park.
Should
Yeah,
we
and
just fix that?
yeah, we'll have to.
Yeah.
I know.